Whenever we create any application, then that application needs a space to store their data regarding to its customer or anything else. Whether it's a social media application, whether it's a website or anything else, it needs a space to store their data. For that purpose, we use databases. So now, in databases, mostly if we talk about relational database, the data is stored in the form of tables. Now, what happened? Sometimes in table the rows can be duplicated. Maybe the database administrator mistakenly duplicate two rows in that specific table. So that is the duplication of data. To remove that duplication, we use normalization. Now, what is normalization? Normalization is used to remove the duplicated rows, whether it is column, from the database table so that the database table becomes more consistent. So that's why we use normalization. So this is the concept of normalization. So if I talk about functional dependencies, so just look at this table. So if you noticed here that there are three values in a single row. Here also, this and this. But we need a single value in a single row. There are multiple values in a single cell. So what does the normalization will do? The normalization will eliminate such kind of thing. So in normalization, we have multiple forms. We have first normal form, we have second normal form, we have third normal form. So in first normal form, what we do? We used to make sure that in each cell, we have a single value in it. And also, each and every table must have a primary key. So we have discussed keys in the last lecture. What is a primary key? Primary key is a key that will uniquely identify a complete row. Just like, for example, in a row of student table, we have data related to student. We have student ID, student name, student marks, student courses, student phone number, everything. So, marks can be same. Like maybe two or three students have same marks like 60% or 70%. Maybe two or three students have the same name. Maybe two or three students lives at the same address. This can be also possible. So, we need something that uniquely identifies a person or something. Just like each and every student have a unique roll number. Just like if you have roll number 21, there cannot be another roll number 21 in your class. So that can be used as a primary key. So primary key is something that can uniquely identify the complete row. So in the first normal form, we ensure that each row contains a unique primary key. So till now, this is a unnormalized relation. We have not normalized it yet. So first, what we will do, we will assign a single value to each and every cell. Second, we will assign a primary key to this table. And third, we have to make sure that there is no duplicated row. So these are the three rules of the first normal form. So let's see it just like here. Now this table is now converted in first normal form. Now see, each row have a single, each cell have a single value. Now you might question how. So if we go back here in the unnormalized table, so 35 have three values. So we assign 35 with 13. Then we assign 35 to 179. Then we assign 35 to 204. Same as 35 was also with systems, tax, and audits. So we separately assign 35 to each and every cell where that values exist. So here we assign them separately. Now the second challenge was to assign them the primary. Now I told you that we need a unique primary key here. But if you notice, if I use the accountant number as a primary key, but we cannot use it because 35 is also repeating, 77 is also repeating. If I use skill number as a primary key alone, then 113 is also repeating and 179 is also repeating 3 times. So we cannot use skill number as primary key alone. If we talk about skill category, system is repeating, here proficiency in 6 is repeating, then in accountant age. So rest of all are repeating. So what can we do in such cases? Then here comes the role of composite primary key. Means we combinedly use two columns to be used as a primary key. Just like if I combine accountant number and skill number together, then it will uniquely identify the complete row. Like we merge or group these two numbers together, like 21 and 113. Now if I check for 21 and 113 in the rest of the cells, there is no other 21 and 113 together. So we call it as primary key. It is uniquely identifying the complete row. So this was the first normal form. So I again repeat the rules that are used for first normal form. First, you have to make sure that each cell contains a single value. If not, then you have to remove that. Second, you have to check for the primary key, means you have to assign a primary key to that table. Third, what you have to do, you have to make sure there is no duplicated row in it. If yes, then you have to remove it. So then we can say that the table is in the first normal form. Then we have some problems with first normal form. So like we can have a update problem. Like if we want to update a specific table it or a row, it can be a problem for us. 35 was repeating multiple times. So let's suppose we have the accountant number 35. We want to change its name from Daud to M Daud. So what will happen? Now the 35 alone is not used here. 35 is used on multiple places. So just like here in this table, see 35 is, 5 is repeating 3 times. So Daud is also repeating 3 times. So if I have to update it here, then it must be updated. Maybe the database administrator forget to replace it or update it in the other rows. So that can be a problem in the updation. So then we talk about the second normal form. After converting the table into first normal form, then we have to convert it into the second normal form. Now, what conditions we have to check? Like here, we have to make sure that a non-prime attribute must not depend on the non-prime attribute. If yes, then we have to remove it. Now, what is a non-prime attribute? Now, look at this table. Prime attributes are something that uniquely identifies the complete row, just like this accountant number. I tell you that, or you can say that the attributes that can be used as a primary key are the prime attributes, and the attributes that cannot be used as a primary key are the non-prime attributes. Now, just like your name is a non-prime attribute. Maybe there are many people who have the same name Ali. Maybe we have many people who have the same name Daud or Zahid. So that cannot be used as a primary key. So that's why it's a non-prime attribute. Means the thing that is common will be your non-prime attribute. Maybe there are multiple people who are of 23, 24, 25. Non-prime attributes are something that shows the common thing in the other. So we cannot use them as the primary key. So in second normal form, we ensure that their non-prime attribute is only depending upon the primary key, not the other non-prime attributes, just like here. Now the group supervisor is depending upon the group number, not on the counted number. Like if I know the group number, then I can know the name of the who is the group supervisor. So group number is a non-prime attribute. How? It is repeating. 44 is repeating 2 times, 52 is repeating 2 times. So we can say that the attribute that is repeating is a non-prime attribute. Now this is also a non-prime attribute because it is also repeating. See? So this is a problem. So such in such kind of thing we have to remove it. So what we do? We have to create a separate table for it. But that is called a transitive dependency that we use to remove it in third normal form. So another thing that I have to tell. Now we have another dependency that is called partial dependency. Now what is that? First discuss it here. Now here I told you that all the attributes must depend upon the complete primary, not a part of it. Now here if you notice that the accountant number, the accountant age is completely dependent upon the accountant number and the skill. But here, the skill category is dependent upon the skill number only, not on the accountant number. If I remove the accountant number, then it is also okay with that. But we want all the attribute must fully dependent on the primary key, not a part of it. So if I remove the skill number here, then we cannot identify the skill category. So such kind of dependency is known as the partial dependency. So we have to remove it. So in second normal form, what we do, we remove this partial dependency here. So just like here in this table. So to remove that, we create a separate table for skill. Now this skill number becomes the primary key here. So in this way, we created three tables here. So that is the second normal form. In second normal form, we remove the partial dependency, and in the third normal form, as I talk about the transitive dependency, that the non-prime attribute must not depend upon the non-prime attribute. So just like here, we created the group supervisor was dependent on the group number. So we create a separate table for them, like here. So now we can say that this table is in third normal form. With the example, I have shown you what is functional dependency. Uh, Means if the attribute completely depends upon the primary key, then that dependency is called the functional dependency, and we have already discussed it. Then we discuss the normalization with the example here. So we discuss the first normal form that ensures that there is a single value in a single cell. And with the example we have also seen. So let's see that again. So if you see here, the first two rows are unnormalized. See, maths and science are in the same cell. And I have told you that in the first normal form, we have to ensure that there is only a single value in this single cell. Now see, math, science and English are in these separate rows, separate cells. So now the table is in the first normal form. After that, we discuss the second normal form. In second normal form, I told you that we remove the partial dependencies, means where a non-prime attribute or a non-key attribute depends on the part of a composite key. So to do that, we split the table and then we discuss the third normal form. Here we discuss that we have to remove the transitive dependencies. Means if a non-prime attribute depends upon the non-prime attribute, we have to remove that. So that was the three normalizations forms of DBMS. Then the second topic that we have to discuss here is database administrator. Now, who is that person? What is the role of it and what are its responsibilities? So, role of the database administrator is to manage and maintain the database. Now, this person will normalize the table. This person will create the table, insert the data, and perform all the operations that must have been performed on the database. So, what are the responsibilities of this person? So he have to create a efficient schema design. He have to define the relationship constraints indexes, like it will design a customer database for an e-commerce platform to ensure that it is scalable. So it also performs monitoring and optimization, means it will identify and resolve if there is any bottleneck, means if there is any problem in the database, then it will remove that query by the optimizing by using the query optimization techniques. Then backup and recovery. Now, if in some cases, uh, if something happens that due to which the data loss, then it have to ensure that how they have to backup or recover that data. They also manage the security, means they provide the user permission, means they provide the role based access to them, like according to the user role they will provide the access to them. So they will check, like for students, means let's suppose in your computer labs only students are allowed to use a specific drive. Other drives are locked. They can be used by the teachers or the administrator itself. So that is known as the role-based access. Means according to the role of the user, they will provide the access to them. Then troubleshooting and maintenance, means if the system crashes or fails, they will resolve them. Means they will investigate and recover. If there is a corrupted database, they can use the transaction logs to check out that. So they also ensure that they are following the General Data Protection Regulation. So means what is General Data Protection Regulation? So this is a law that says that without user permission, we cannot use the user's data for any other purpose. So if we are using, then we are breaching their privacy. So here, without, if you use users data without their permission, then they can take some actions against you. So we have to take care of that, and no one in the organization is using the customer's data without their permission. So if we talk about the normalization with examples, so let's suppose we have an employee database. So what can be the functional dependency here? Now the employer name depends upon the employee ID. If we have employee ID, then we can easily know the employee name. Just like in your institute, if we know your registration number, through that registration number, we can know what is your name, what is your roll number, in which department you are. Then if we talk about the library management system, now, what is the functional dependency here? Like if we know the book ID, then we can know the title and the author name. Then in the university, the same example, just like if we have your student registration number, then we can know in which department currently you are. So we have some examples for first normal form. Like here, if we have order ID, just like the laptop and mouse are in the same cell and the quantity is also in the same cell. So we separate that, like we assign them the same order ID and then we separate them. Then if we talk about the second normal form, in the second normal form, we have to remove the partial dependencies. So just like here, the course name is depend upon the course ID. It has nothing to do with the student ID. So we create separate tables for them, like course ID and course name. We create separate tables for them. Then after that, in third normal form, we remove the transitive dependencies. Like what was the transitive dependency? A non-prime attribute depends upon a non-prime attribute. Just like the customer, the city depends upon the customer name. So we create separate tables for them. So that are some examples of normalization. Then we have some examples of database administrator. Like for example, if a retail company needs a database for inventory management, so they may design a schema for tables for products, suppliers, transactions. They have to ensure that the relationships are well defined to track the stock level, etc. They ensure that the DBA optimized the e-commerce website. They created the queries for columns like product name and category. So in this way, this is the role of database and an administrator. But the most important topic was normalization. Maybe in future, if you study about advanced databases, then that can be very helpful for you. So if you have any question, then let me know. Any concept that is not clear to you.
No, ma'am. It's clear.